What are some of the most important things that you can consider in a relationship? It seems like you guys, we've been hanging out. It's been you and me. We're like right here, you guys, right? And we're having the conversation because it's like I said, it's not a new recipe, right? But there are some foundational things that we can hold on to that I think are important. And so I want to give you 7 of those and just keep those in mind. The first one is mutual respect. There must be mutual respect between the two people. You must be able to respect that person, their likes, their dislikes. If you can't, and then those are some non negotiables, that makes sense. The other is honest and open communication. Um, Things that have happened in your life that have shaped you, I think are an important part of the conversation. Have those in an open and honest communication. Desire the best for each other. You know, don't be a selfish individual. Be a person who is willing to embrace the ideas of someone else, to encourage the other person, to help them be the best that they can be. Consideration, being considerate. You know, I'm also somebody who likes my personal space. Understand what people like. Sometimes always being around somebody, it's not really the best thing. But having your personal space, having some time alone is important. I think it's also important that you each have your own lives, meaning your own sets of friends, different people that you hang out with, so that you all still remain eclectic, that you have people that you laugh and joke with and spend time with, and then you come back together and you can share those things. Those are important pieces of the equation. Don't become so engrossed that you have no room for anybody else. That's an important part of the equation. Accepting that you just might be wrong. How about that? Because, you know, sometimes we think we are so perfect. And in thinking that we're so perfect, we don't allow for the fact that I might be wrong. And in being wrong, wouldn't it be nice for you to find that out yourself and to embrace yourself in that and to actually make those adjustments in your life that you found out? And then maybe when you found out that you were wrong, if the other person isn't offended and you all can laugh about it because that's what they like about you, once again, you just have to find your balance. These are some of the most important things that you all can do for each other. Sharing each other's dreams and goals, having that as part of your open conversation. What are your plans for 5 years? What do you want to see? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's a good communication, because if both of you aren't going down the same road, not necessarily the same career path, but the end game, the same goal, is something that you two can work together. That's another important part of the equation. You can't grow apart. You must grow together. And you must have a continual conversation, because guess what? That plan changes. You might have decided, like I remember when I first wanted my first car, I wanted a Rabbit, a Volkswagen Rabbit. Well, I don't want a Volkswagen Rabbit today, you know. So that's something. So we change over time, but you've got to change together. You've got to grow together. You've got to be able to celebrate each other and allow each other to be their individual self. Being willing to cheer each other on. I told my niece that it's her job to be her husband's cheerleader, so she needs to marry somebody that she can cheer. That's what I mean about what somebody is striving for and looking for. I'm an author. I write novels. I write romance novels that are designed to celebrate love, to show you how in love you can be. It is not a hard book. It is not hard conceptually. It's the opportunity that you have to really explore each other and see a love through the eyes of, and ask yourself, are you going down that path? Identifying your non-negotiables. One of the things that I enjoyed that my niece and her boyfriend did New Year's Eve was they went out New Year's Eve, but they came home and they did a vision board. That's that communication. That's that coming together. They looked at, what does life look like in 2023? Have you done that with your mate? What have you guys decided? What are you looking for? You may know that your relationship is actually going nowhere. And guess what? I get that. And that's okay. Everybody is in our life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. Not everybody is in there for the lifetime. So embrace the moment. Identify what role that person plays in your life. Do they come in there to teach you a lesson? an invaluable lesson? Did they come in there to show you love in a way, or to show you what you don't want in a relationship so you can continue to build those things up? Are they meant to be with you for a lifetime? Everyone talks about soulmates. Now, I don't know how I feel about that word and that thought process. I will say that if you cultivate communication and dialogue and conversation, you may find you're forever within cultivating that. But that happens because you are intentional. That happens because you are communicating. That happens because you are sure enough being honest and authentically you. So I would laugh when I think about my niece when she first started dating. And I told her, eat like you eat when you go out with me. Don't be going out and ordering a salad or something of that nature. That was interesting because, we see all this stuff on TV and women try not to be. He needs to know how you eat. He needs to know what that cost is going to be, and vice versa. And then don't have expectations all the time, ladies. If you're going out with a guy and every time he's pulling out his wallet and he's paying, offer some time to do that. Invite him out. I think that's another important part of the equation is, ladies, let's invite him. Let's let them know that we value them. Don't always look at things as one-sided, as something that you need to cultivate, that he has to be the end all, the be all. I mentioned that during Valentine's and stuff. Make it about him as well. Make it reciprocal. Have him have some skin in the game, but have you have some skin in the game. Letting him know that the value of each is reciprocal. Reciprocation is very intentional for me. I need to know that you value me as much as I value you. If it's all one-sided, there's a phrase called, I'm being taken for granted. So you don't want those things. You want to be able to embrace all that there is to embrace about that person. I know some friends that really listen to the person that they're with. And when it comes to the birthday and holidays, or just because, they get them things they heard them speak of. All of those things are relative. So how do you build those strong foundational relationships? When you hear me say something and you follow up on what you heard me say, then that tells me that you're listening, and that tells me that you care. So building on it, mutual respect, consideration, being each other's cheerleader, wanting the best for each other, accepting personal space, accepting that person may want personal space, having your own sets of ideas, your own sets of goals, having your own people that you spend time with and that you're cultivating, and that you all become a myopic community and not a individual community where it's just the both of you. So in the process of relationships, we make it way more difficult than it is. I'm just telling you, I think because I have said this, I know sometimes it may sound like a broken record, but the truth is, we are so caught up on social media, we are so caught up on all of the reality shows and stuff, that we're letting them put the framework to what our thoughts are on relationships. And I promise us, at the end of the day, that's not how they go. When we see that size 2 and 3 and 5 and 7, that's not every person. When we see that guy with the six-pack, that's not every guy. We're going for optics. That's what their shows are going for. What are you going for? Are you going for optics? Do you want more? The foundation is yours. The foundation is between the two of you, and not that somebody gets to decide, not that somebody gets to add. Make sure that, once again, that when you are dealing with your friends, that you are dealing with friends that have sound foundational conversations for you, that are not jaded, that have not been harmed, that have not been hurt, but that they can absolutely, without a dog in this fight, be a part of your journey and encourage it. Encourage it with encouraging words. And if they do see some red flags, that they at least bring those red flags to the table. So on building those relationships, you can have those. And I promise you, everybody's making this harder. Are you guys with me on this? Are you with me? I'm telling you, it is not that hard. You have to be intentional. You can't compromise. You can't settle for less. You can't believe that you are going to change this person, that you are going to build this person up, because that's where your disappointment comes in. Because you're not put here to change somebody and cultivate that person. You're here to accept who that person is, and then the both of you grow together. Those are the relative. Those are the sound foundational pieces that I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, if you're listening to me, I promise you that if you follow these points and you own who you are and you don't bend or budge and you don't compromise, but you stand firm in believing that the best is out there for you, the best is yet to come, and that you are such an amazing prize, that you bring so much to the table. So it's just, once again, the encouragement that relationships are there. They're not hard. You just have to want them, and then you have to commit to them. So build a sound foundation. Find that person that mirrors your values, your beliefs, and then grow from there. And I promise you, at the end of the day, you'll have a solid relationship.